Better get you your Wednesday morning shot. It's finally daylight. Supposed to be 90% chance of rain today. We'll see. Rained pretty good yesterday. Rained pretty good part of the night. I don't know how much we got. I didn't look. But hey, loader's still in the same position. And actually looking at it, it settled a little bit. That was pretty much horizontal and it's tipped a little bit, but I expect that. It's been sitting here for, what, 14 hours, I guess. I don't know. Scrounged up a few pieces this morning. It'll be a little more than I was thinking. One narrow piece I got will make both strips I need, plus fill that hole, I think. But that one's a little deficient too. If I had a little wider strip, I'd go that route, but I don't think I do, so that's what we got to deal with. See what happens with it. Oh yeah, there's the pieces. The two are stacked right there. I got the holes marked. I'm going to drill them out and then bolt it to the piece and weld her on. Look, it's done. Not fun, but it's done. Tight enough there, it shouldn't dribble anything. Better not. Still a little thin there. Paint's thicker than the metal. But it's done. We're gonna go put it away. Well, I had to finish the video somehow, so yeah, I'll do it this way. I pulled too hard. Go back to my other thought. Do it this way. I've seen too much news today, I guess. Haven't really heard much good. Got a lot of stuff sent to me. Sounds like there's a big freaking mess. Sounds like lots of places, they got some serious voter fraud. Last thing I just saw was what they were talking about. I think it was in Arizona. Don't quote me on that. I think that's where it was. Where the people at the polls are making the people use a Sharpie to mark their ballot, but the computer doesn't read Sharpie. It reads regular ink pen. So that sounds like an interesting one to me. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm cleaning up a piece of copper wire. Y'all know I got a bracelet on. It's there for a reason. It helps with arthritis. Some people say, no, it doesn't. Well, I've had mine on. This is my second or third one because I've actually worn them clear out. I've had mine on my wrist since I was 40 years old. Same time I made one for my father. Because he was having troubles. He had a couple fingers that were really, really bad. Swelled up bad. And you can see it with that index finger. They're about the same size. 15 years ago they weren't. My right one was every bit of twice the size of my left one at the first knuckle. And some days it hurt so bad I couldn't even grab a pen or a pencil to write something. And pulling the trigger on the welder, oh boy, that felt really good. So, being all the old timers when I was growing up swore by the dang things. Dad and I were talking about it, and he says, "Oh, yeah, I always had one," and he swore by it. I said, "Yeah, he did." And I knew that old man for probably 40 years before he died. Old farmer we used to do some farming with, and he didn't take that bracelet off for anything except for put a new one on when he wore the old one out. It didn't matter what. And there was a few other old boys. You know, at least one of his brothers wore a bracelet too. So anyway, this one here, I made one. It came out pretty good. Bruce today was most of you know, was kind enough to find me a door panel for the Versatile and got it shipped to me. He wanted the packing slip, because that was the receipt for it. He wanted that mailed to him, and I would want that too. So we finally got that mailed off, and he'd asked me about my bracelet if it worked. I told him, yes, sir, it does. So I made him one. Now, I said something to Becky when she put the stuff in the mail. And, it just got put in an envelope with the other stuff. Then I decided tonight, right now is a good chance to do it. I just made him another one. Problem is, it's smaller than mine. And mine is, let's see if this will come around far enough. Mine's about the size that his needs to be. I measured right. I don't know what happened. Well, actually, I should say I measured wrong the first time. I didn't even bother cleaning it up. I think there's a little difference there. So, there's two small ones. They don't do nobody any good at the moment. So, I'm getting this one cleaned up good. I'm just cleaning up a long piece. I'm going to get one end of it cleaned up and smoothed off good here in a minute when I get the rest of this clean, because it's easier to clean this part while it's straight. A little grinder work on the end, because I ain't going to do that all day with a piece of emery cloth. Then I'm going to form it around my wrist and get it about the size of mine, maybe a little bit bigger. And I'll cut it off and clean the other end up. In the meantime, I know I said if you're going to complain, you better vote. If you don't vote, you can't complain. Well, my God, it sounds like it's time for everybody to complain because of the way it's been handled. And I don't know. I really don't. It's disappointing that it's been handled the way it has been. Very disappointing. And I look back, I've even had a couple people message me. There are people here on YouTube. They got my messenger stuff. People I chat with once in a while. We're all roughly the same age. And one of them says, have you ever seen it? No, I ain't never seen crap like this. Hell, how many years have I voted? Somebody's probably cringing because I'm grinding on this. But that's the easiest thing I have to get it at least somewhat there. Yeah. Oh, you can't see it, sorry. I'm doing the side of it, used on the side. Tough. Now I can smooth that up with the emery cloth. When I was a kid, number one, in Oregon, we had to go to our precinct to vote. You couldn't go anywhere else. It really didn't matter what you thought you were going to do. Absentee ballots, well, you had to take care of getting those. Oh, geez. Must have been like a month and a half in advance. You had to do that. And if you didn't get it hand-delivered back to the elections department before you had to leave, or if you were, somebody serving our country overseas, or even, just a business person that was working out of town, you could have it sent to you and send it back. But it had to be back like a week or 2 weeks before the election. Now, even our military members across the world, they had to have theirs back before the election. And now we got these, we're going to count those next week. So you're going to count them next week. Election night, last night, used to be the results for the whole country were in by the 11 o'clock news, Pacific Standard Time. Now, they were talking yesterday, it's going to be Thursday before we have anything. Why? Back then, everything was hand done. Now, everything is computered. Why is the computer so slow? And I bet that wrong. That's what I got a vice for, right? I just got to clean up what I do. Why is the computer so slow? And I know a lot of people have issues with mail-in ballots. Well, Oregon has had mail-in ballots for, I don't know, at least 20 years, maybe longer. Are they the best thing? I don't think so, because I can see way too many problems with them. And I seriously believe there's been way too many problems with them. But for the most part, it's not too awful bad. Boy, did I screw that up. Usually when I got to make one of these, it doesn't take me very long. I do a lot better job. Maybe I'm distracted because I'm videoing. I don't know. Still don't look right. I usually don't use the vise either. I usually use my Leatherman. But I'm getting it around the right way, kind of. Get it around here about where I think it should be, and see if it fits, see how it fits. Bad thing is you got to open it up to get into it. Then put it on and close it up, and that's not too bad. One thing about these, they're pliable enough, you change it to fit. Anyway, open it up so it fits kind of like mine does, and maybe I'll get this right. The way Oregon has been for quite a few years now, I kind of wonder how much fraud is really in our mail-in ballots. And it's obvious in a lot of states they're having big issues with it. So anyway, that's my take on stuff. That's probably way more than long enough. I don't have too much other than, hey, look at that thing's back in here. Because I want to get it underneath that so we can at least roll it. Hopefully do something with that tomorrow. Anyway, hey, pray for our country. Pray for all of us. And pray they don't drag this out forever. Get it figured out. I mean, it's going to go one way or the other, no matter what happens. And that's how it's going to be. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody.